Okay, I'm at my folks' house here in the People's Socialist State of New York, looking at their Carrier 9200 Weathermaker furnace, which for years has been leaking water. You see, they have this furnace serviced once a year, and the furnace company, which has a good reputation in town, has never done anything about that problem. So I'm going to do something about it now. You know, as you can see, they have stuff regularly done. Date media changed. This is what confuses me. 9/16/15, when right now it's January 25th of 2015. So I don't know if this guy came in the future and did it, or if that's when it's supposed to be changed, or if he just put the wrong date down. So date water panel changed, date media changed, and they have it done once a year too. So I mean, the guy comes over. They used to have him come over in the spring and the fall. I don't know why. There's no air conditioning here, so I talked him out of that. But my biggest, the culprit here, let me, take this panel off. Alright, so what's happening here, you can see that all this rust in here, it's been going on for years. What's happening is the water's not draining out of the trap. You can see where it's coming out of. It's coming out of the exhaust flue, or whatever you call this thing. I'm not a HVAC guy by any stretch of the imagination. But when this furnace cycles, when it's done heating, water just pours out of here. I mean, it's like an open faucet. I'm going to try to clean the trap, but first, I think what the biggest problem is right here, the way they have it plumbed. Alright, they have it coming off the P-trap here, coming out, going into a T that's going up to the humidifier drain. And just by the looks of it, you can see that thing is not, there's no downhill flow at all. And even in New York State, where the inmates are running the asylum, everything's, what used to be up is now down, and blah blah blah. They still haven't figured out how to make water drain uphill. So you can see here, we're definitely not, we're running uphill. We need to be, this needs to be level or at a slight slope downhill. So I think the water's backing up, and it's not allowing it to drain properly. So this has to get fixed. So what I'm going to do is cut this and run a pipe into the pump here and see if that'll take care of the problem. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. I don't know why. I mean, they had this furnace professionally installed. Of course, you know, it's a few years old. But you know, having these guys over once, twice a year, and nobody's figured out that problem is just redonkulous. Alright, I gotta do some moving here. I'll be back. Alright, I thought what I'd do is I'd wait, let this furnace do one more heating cycle so I can show you how that water is running out of here. Now it's going to be at the end of the cycle, so I'll be back in a minute. Okay, it should be getting near the end of the cycle now. If not, I'll just fast forward through this. They're getting ready. Like I say, once the burner shuts down, the water just starts pouring out this son of a pup. And you'll hear that the pump here will not cycle on at all. Usually, every time after a heat cycle, these will fill up with water, cycle on, and drain, but this one isn't coming on at all. I did manually pour water in there, and the float and the pump is working. So, come on. But, I mean, the damage is... hopefully they don't have to, because of this crap, get a new furnace, you know. I mean, sooner than they should have. Because this thing works fine. So, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Come on there, furnace. Water in there, it's not throwing any coals or anything. It seems to run fine. What? It's still burning? No. I gotta find someplace on YouTube where it shows you how to put the knees in yourself. Hopefully some surgeon will make a how-to video someday. Starting. Pretty soon it'll come out in a little stream. So as you can see, that's not how it's supposed to work. So. I'm going to let it finish cycling through, and I'm going to remove the lower panel here, and we'll get to work. Okay, now we're going to be taking it as soon as we shut down. You can see the water just coming out of there at a real good pace here. So, as soon as the fan shuts down, I'm assuming that's a fan from the heat exchanger. We'll take that panel off and we'll go from there. Yeah, the water's just about stopped now. I mean, it's still dripping, but nothing too bad. Well, I was mistaken. The pump just came on. So obviously some water's getting down in there. But if you see down in here, ooh, no, it's going in there. And the tray down here is all full of water. I don't know. I just think that somebody didn't do what they're supposed to do. Now this hose, I don't know if you can see it or not. Coming under here from the bottom of the trap, whatever they call this thing. I'm gonna try to get my little shop vac, hook it up here and suck this out, suck the trap out, in case there's any buildup in there that's causing it to not. Well, actually, you know what I think I'm gonna do is just pull the whole thing right out, and then it's a matter of moving the drain line to a proper level, or have a little downward slope on it. I brought some tubing with me to try to run straight from here out the side here and then in there, just to check to see if that'll take care of the problem. So let's see here. Although I think my tubing might be too big. You see. You know, I'm going to kill the furnace here real quick. Just for turns and giggles. Oh. Alright. Get down in here. I don't know if you can see all the water that just came out of here, but that's not supposed to do that. Alright, let's see here. So if I take this and run you, oh yeah, that's doing it. You know what? I'm going to cycle this furnace on. I will I'll just run this hose out and see if the water will drain that way. If it doesn't, then I'll pull the P-trap, or the condensation trap, whatever, and have at it that way. So let me see about keeping this thing. I gotta get that, keep that switch held in. Let's see. Something to lean against, or I suppose I could get some tape and just tape it. Yeah, I'm gonna go grab some tape. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I took a piece of just clear packing tape to hold the safety switch in. We will now turn it on to see what happens. Yeah, I'm thinking But this one here, the other thing that, you know, like I say, I'm not a HVAC guy, but it seems like here they would want to run a Y instead of a T. You know, that's just me, but I don't know. But we'll see here. The red light's on. Let's give her a chance to, if it will fire up with this panel off. I don't know if it will or won't. So, but this summer, this house here, the humidity level down here was, I mean, the house felt like a greenhouse in here. It was horrible. Never ever, you know, have I felt it so wet. So I can't help but thinking this has a lot to do with it, because I'm sure this concrete is just saturated with water from the years of this happening. I don't know if that's gonna do it or not. Well, if it doesn't, I'll figure out how to. I suppose I could just cut this and cap to one side. Oh, no, here we go. Alright, well, we'll see what happens here. See, it's still leaking from the exhaust, so I probably will have to vacuum out that P-trap, or that condensation trap, or whatever the heck it's called. Alright, well, we'll get back to videoing in a minute here, once this cycles through. Okay, water is running out, as you can see. Let's take a look. I just don't want to move and make too much dust. Alright, one drip that's trying to drip there, but I don't know if that's just residual. We'll see. But I can tell you one thing, this water is coming out pretty good here. And it definitely wasn't doing that before. It might take a few cycles. I mean, if this fixes the problem, it might take a few cycles to dry everything up. But we'll see when the burner stops, if that's going to take care of the issue. This thing's constantly dripping. I think it's water coming from the humidifier that's splashing over into that tea. Because that should not be still spitting water out. Still running out here. See that puddle's getting bigger and bigger. That's how it should be coming out. Well, in my, limited knowledge of heating, but I'll tell you what, it's looking pretty good. Alright. The burner kicked off. We should be getting a big gush of water coming out. It's coming out a lot quicker now. So all that water, that much water, has been going into that furnace every time it cycles on. That's a lot of water. No wonder the house is like a freaking terrarium. And you can see our water droplet hasn't dropped. Oh, here we go. Just let loose. Alright, so I'm going to clean that trap. Well, I was getting my hopes up for nothing, it appears. I wonder if they have that exhaust pipe pitched too much. That might also be a problem, and it's the condensation is just falling right back down inside. I'll have to see what the pitch is supposed to be on it. I would assume it's like any other plumbing. Okay. Well, I think it worked a little better, but still not exactly where I need it to be. I wonder. I'm gonna try tightening that just for turds and giggles. Ooh, boy, they got that sucker already reefed on there. Huh. Alright, well, I'm going to pull it off and take a look in there. See what's happening. But first I'm going to... Alright, so it's coming. It's got to be back draining. Alright, let me take a look here. I'll be back. Okay, so what I did was slid this clamp off here, check out what was going on in there. Then I put it back on and I split the difference between the black and the white there where it fit in where it slid in, because they had this all the way onto the black. Alright, that was one thing. The other thing, I sucked out the P-trap. I took the vacuum line off and sucked it out, and then I blew through the tube, and there was air coming out both sides here, so that seemed good. Hooked the vacuum tube back up. Got this running down into the sump now. It just cycled once and not a drop of water anywhere, and the water did not start coming out of here until after the flame had shut down, which is the way I think they're supposed to work. It's not supposed to have water all the time. So I'm thinking this thing was just so saturated with water, but we'll let it go another heat cycle here or two and see what happens, and that may be the fix. And then what I'm going to do is just cut this, cap it on this side, just turn this down and turn this down, and then just run a piece of rubber, you know, from there into here, and you know, hook it back up on the inside here where it goes to the trap. You know, run a piece of rubber and just let it work like that for a few days, because we're supposed to be coming up to some real cold weather here, and see how it goes. And if that takes care of it permanently, then I'll make a more secure connection to the sump pump there. So we'll see. Once it cycles on a couple more times, I'll come back on and we'll see what happened to it. So, all right. Till then, see you. Oh yeah, remember, fix it yourself, dummy. Okay, so this furnace has cycled 3 times since the last time we looked, and no leaks. I think that exhaust and everything was just so saturated with water that it took a couple times to dry itself out, but it's working like it should. The water's going down here into the sump. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this, turn it, just run a piece of rubber from the end into the sump, and then up to the bottom of where the front goes my front of the trap here, and run it like that a couple days, see how it holds up, and plumb it up permanent. So, and this thing has had to have been like this since this furnace was first installed, because nothing has been touched on this you know, since the installation. So I mean, it's been years, you know, 16 years at least. So I'm surprised it didn't totally rust through, but it took a few years in order for that rust though to apparently so it would drip down into the lower pan here than out on the floor. So so that's good. Let me cut that and we'll be in business here. I'm going to be using my handy dandy multi-tool here. This thing is one of the best tools I've ever owned. I use it for everything. Just ticks me off because right after I bought it, then they came out with the quick release models. So, but oh well. Hopefully it's got some juice in it. It's been out in my box of my truck. I should have enough to cut that. Alright, we'll be back. Alright. Let's have at it here. Let's see. About right there should be good. Alright, I'm gonna put something behind there. My glove. Leather gloves work good for so many things. Just about. All right, we good. Now take that off. Where'd my screwdriver go? I gotta take that off of there. Oh, there it is. Right, are we? Alright, so we got that. I'm just going to deburr this with a piece of sandpaper real quick. Beautiful. Shit, where's my knife? Oh well. Oh, you know what? I'll use the scissors. Clean the inside out. Should be good enough. Good enough for the government. And come over here. Let's see. So if I keep you on there, I could run you right straight through there. Stick this on like so. Shit, I should have cut that off. I could have went in there further. Oh well. All right. Get you on there. Then get a piece from there to there. Let's see how this is going to look. A little long. Trim you off. Alright, so for field testing, me and my Havoc skills are assuming that's going to be good. But let's see here. I'm going to put a plug on that. Let's see what we got laying around this basement here. Some stuff in there. Let's see, there's got to be something solid enough to stick in there. There we go. That'll do it. Good enough. Bolt head in there. That should be good enough for what I want to do. So now then, we'll fire the furnace back up. Let it cycle through. And see what it does. Keep an eye on things here. Let the camera roll. I better plug the pump back in. Here we go. Come on, baby. Alright, I'm going to go get some paper towels to dry up. We'll wait. think I'll put the hose clamp back on the inside one when it's done. Just for turds and giggles. This is the old hose, and it was kinked like almost in half too. So. Drying out good, good. No water. Sump just came on. Water's pouring in there like it should. Still dry in here. Burner's still burning. Burner just shut down. I'd say we got past the smell, we got it licked. Okay, well, that's all there is about that. Seems like any random fool can do that. Take you off. Oh, you prick. Do, 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 do. Oh, all right there, boys and girls. It's been fun. I'll come back and check on this in a couple of days. So the sump came on, water's draining like it's supposed to. I say we's good. Alright, remember, fix it yourself, dummy.